Okay. Hello everyone. Quick video today. Um, just a sort of few thoughts that crossed my mind while I was scrolling YouTube. My lighting's so bad. Um, I was thinking about women and you know, sort of teenage girls my age, and the sort of system which is I'm very tired right now. The sort of system which is in place or that is unanimously agreed upon in order that we use in order to actually, get girlfriends or things like that, in the male world. It's very, very strange. Um, I think it's kind of just a passing thought. It's kind of like when you go to the zoo or when you're like, when you're around animals or something. There's like there's a goat or that's like a sheep or something or a dog, and it's like you got your parents behind you and they say put your hand out or something and it might like you, or it might or maybe if you do this it'll let you pet the cat or whatever. And in a way it's kind of similar in terms of from my observation. It's kind of similar with young men and young women, because maybe it's your friends, maybe it's still your parents or something, and they're like, oh, well, maybe if you do this, she'll talk to you, or maybe oh, if you do this thing, if you say this thing, it will sort of unlock a special thing and you'll be able to talk to them. Oh, she might like you, or something like that. And it's like, obviously, in the modern world, dating has become completely transactional. Nothing is natural anymore. Nothing is normal. God forbid. Oh, a normal interaction with a person who's loving and kind and normal? Poh, can't possibly be. But it's very farm-like, very animalistic in a way, to a certain degree. Just something I thought. The interactions with people in general, in this day and age anyway, is very blank and cold. We all know that because we go out into the world. Anyone who's like me, or uh, you know, vice versa, will understand that because they see how the world is. And I don't know. It's difficult to get. These days. It's difficult to do anything. Just just getting by. Also, let me talk about like teenhood, because I'm 18. I know I don't look it. Um, but I'm classed as an adult now. An adult. I suppose in certain cases for some people, they're 18, they're classed as an adult, but they're not really an adult. In my case, I was an old man by the time I was 10. So I was always fucking, older than my years. So when it comes to teenhood, I've been, homeschooled for a very long time. Thing now, see, the thing with homeschooling, if it's done right, and that means not implementing a curriculum, not saying, oh, you've got to do this on these days and you've got to do that on here. I mean, you can do that, but it's not the best option because it doesn't allow freedom of choice, freedom of expression, freedom of artistic endeavor, freedom of discovery. whole point of learning, I feel, in my experience, the whole point of learning is to be led down a path that is unexpected, but that you come across naturally and want to learn more about something, rather than something being presented to you, and someone saying, "Oh, well, you've got to learn this now," and it's just not. It's not the right thing. It's not the right way to go about it. But I've been homeschooled for ever since. You don't really stop being homeschooled. If you're in school, you're in school. You learn the bullshit, and then you come out, and then you forget everything. Unless it's really important or something. But with homeschooling, you never really stop being homeschooled because you're then, I suppose, on an everlasting quest for knowledge and wisdom and things like that, and you're being taught by the world every day. But in being homeschooled, obviously, if you're in a situation like me, I'm in a small town. There's nobody about. There's no one my age. So I haven't had friends. I haven't had. No, I don't really. I had friends when I was younger that I used to play outside with all the time. But and luckily for me, that was, growing up like that was a very classical um experience of childhood. Thankfully I got to experience. I think maybe one of the last generations who played outside without a phone. Me and my friends, when I was up to okay, I lost my friends after 2020. So for two reasons. One being a very small sort of like falling out over like a naughty sort of thing that we did, and the second, I think, being the pandemic itself, which is sad because yeah, it means I've gone 6 years now, growing up in teenhood, not having had a sort of classic teenhood that you know teens in any other era would have had. In the 80s, because my father's, he was born bang on 1980. So, he grew up having all of that, fantastic experience of, being a kid in the 80s and being a teenager. Although, he himself, I must admit, had a very, very difficult childhood and a very difficult time because he grew up in a religion, a cult, and thankfully he got out of that and got me out of that trouble as well. Um, but that's a whole other thing. But yeah, the sacrifice of having lots of time and knowledge and wisdom and whatever, but you're sacrificing friendship. And in my case, I don't have, I've never, I don't really, I don't know what it's like to have proper friends that really, connect with me and I connect with them. And I don't know what it's like to have, basic human touch, basic human kindness, as it were. Um, I've never held someone's hand, haven't had my first kiss, and I'm 18. Something that I think you should have done at least by the time you're, I think, like, 14, you should have a little, a kiss here and there from a girl or a boy or whatever. Like, it's normal that should happen in your life when you're growing up. Because it helps you learn, just the same as when you do anything, really. At first you start out and you're pretty shit at it and you fail and it's a bit weird and you don't know what you're doing, like art. and then eventually you do it more times and you get used to it, and people say, "Oh, well, you can, there's this way of doing it, and maybe don't try do this," and you learn how to cope in the world and do things properly. Um, and sadly, that's not really what we have. I don't know how bad this sounds because my I gotta get a new mic. Bear with me. Um, Sadly, that's not really the world we have anymore. From my experience, obviously, I don't know. I can only see what it's like for people in school based on videos online. So I don't know really what it's like in the modern day. So, but from my observations, um, it's really very inactive. Nobody really cares about doing anything like they used to. Nobody's passionate really about anything in the same way as they used to be because of technology and phones and all that stuff. Um, but it's like like always, it's the same story. Humanity is gifted this fantastic technology, or fantastic new way of thinking or something, and what do they use it for? Nothing good. They bastardize it. They use it for evil. You know, they monetize it. They do everything wrong. So don't throw pearls to swine. That might have been a bit too loud. I can't tell. Don't throw pearls to swine is what I said. Um, yeah, it's true, indeed. Uh, I'm not sure what you guys' experiences are. If they're the same as mine, then please comment down below. Why you wouldn't comment up, would you? So yeah, it's difficult living in this day and age. Truly difficult. But every era, not era, yeah, every era, every century, decade, whatever, has their troubles. And it just so happens that in this flat circle of time, we are experiencing the troubles. Um, but we'll come out of it, I think. There's always going to be a bad time and a good time, and we have to just do our best to stay alive, to not off ourselves during that time, as much as you might want to, as difficult as it might be, um, as hopeless as it might feel. Still got to do it, Still got to fucking do the game, play the game, until that time has passed, and things get better. But it takes effort from you. You watching. It takes effort. Because you have to do stuff too. A lot of people online, they watch videos and like motivational videos or videos that have a good message to them that say, well, you've got to do something, otherwise this world's fucked. But they don't take into account it's also oh, not me, yeah, me, no, yeah, you too. You've got to do something. It's your job too, because you're watching the video. So as do as much as you can in your field, in your circle, whether it's at fucking McDonald's, anywhere. Do everything in your power to make things better. Obviously, I can do a whole video on what better really means, and that's going to change for different people with different ideologies and different cultural appropriation. But in a general sense, let's use Napoleon's sort of civil code here. Family is first. Preserve the family, traditionally and lovingly, and because family comes first, and family is the strongest thing against against pollution of the world. You know, family is the strongest defense against uh, 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 bad government. You know. Also, I'm gonna do a short video on the Declaration of Independence soon, so stay tuned for that. Family comes first. So, yeah. Well, anyway, I hope you enjoyed. Um, yeah, just do your best, and please join my Discord server because I need members, and it helps us stay connected. Because, uh, yeah, it's Discord. Okay, bye bye.